So it would appear it's only 10 to 14 days on the old beard diet before, this happens again. So I don't know which me you're gonna get from week to week, old me or younger me, but, one of us will be here. She-Hulk, Episode 2. Alright, this one's gonna be a rant because She-Hulk is starting to piss me off. So as I said in the first review, She-Hulk has an agenda. And I also said that I don't have a problem with a female empowerment message being encased in the fabric of your show. But what I don't like is being hit in the head with a trumped up, unrealistic version of it. You're trying to send a message, but in an effort to make sure that the viewer doesn't miss the message that you're trying to send, you end up undermining your own message. You're showing me things that women deal with on a day-to-day basis that make it difficult to be a woman, but you're doing it in a way that doesn't ring true. Like in the first episode when the guys are trying to accost her outside the bar. I've seen that. I've seen drunk dudes stumbling out of the bar, they see the girl and they're like, "Hey babe, what are you doing? You want to go home with me?" And then she's like, "No, I'm fine, thank you." And then they're like, "Oh, whatever, bitch. I'm a nice guy, man. Just trying to be a nice guy." I don't mind you turning the volume up a little bit on that. I've seen that, so message received. Sexual aggression of men can make it difficult for women to navigate society. I can get behind that. And the little monologue she gives at the end of episode 1 about how women are really good at controlling their anger, because whether it be men or equal pay or unrealistic body image expectations, that women walk around in some semblance of anger a lot and they're forced to push that down to navigate their lives. And while that monologue was a real spoon feeding, I can get behind the message because that exists. But episode 2, 30 seconds in, there's a news reporter interviewing a guy on the street about what just transpired with the She-Hulk. And the reporter's like, "Sir, can you tell me what you witnessed?" And this guy's response, in some of the worst acting I've ever seen, is, "Oh yeah, well this chick, pretty decent. Well, she turned into a Hulk." And he does it just like that. Pretty decent. Straight to camera. And I don't buy that some guy being interviewed on the street about a superhero encounter would take the time to give his rating on how hot the chick was before she turned into a fucking Hulk. You're telling me that society fixates on women's looks and it's hard for a woman because that's how women are judged, and I can understand that and I can agree with it. But you just did it in a way that would not happen in Scream's "Here's what we're doing!" Then in the next scene, Walter's talking to some guy at a bar, and mid-conversation he stops and he says, "Oh, there's a hot chick. I'm gonna go talk to it. There's a hot chick. I'm gonna go talk to it." Now, I know men objectify women. I've seen men objectify women. I can even go back into my own life at certain behaviors when I was younger, looking at it through the new lens of now and go, "Oh, maybe that wasn't the best thing to do, or I should have changed my behavior there." I can even own that. I can own and appreciate, understand, and agree with that overall concept, but I have never heard any man, even the most chauvinistic pig fuck that I know, refer to a girl as an it. It takes me out of it when you go too big and make a bullshit scenario that would never happen, and then I'm just sitting there going, "Okay, I get it. Men suck and women have a tough time and blah, blah, blah. Just turn green and fucking punch something." It undermines your overall message when you're stacking the deck with cards that don't exist. It's like, what's going to happen next? Is she going to be litigating one of her cases in court and maybe getting over emotional, and the judge stops the proceedings to be like, "Oh, looks like someone's on her period." Yeah, that's actually a great made-up example of what I'm talking about. It illustrates my point perfectly. Yes, men have been known to trivialize women's emotions by saying, "Oh, she's just on her period," but a judge wouldn't stop a court case to do that, and there's just a lot of that. Like in this episode, she's fired and then she's rehired to be part of this new superhero division of law. And then she's told by her male boss that if she wants to practice law for the superhero division, since they're looking for a face for the superhero division, that she has to be in She-Hulk form in order to get the job, and she has to litigate her cases in She-Hulk form in order to get the job. Not an unreasonable request for a superhero law division. And then as she's walking through the offices as the She-Hulk, looking around, getting to know the lay of the new place she's going to be working, she does some fourth wall breaking monologue about how she's completely qualified for this job, but now everyone's going to think she just got it because she's a superhero. Trying to parallel the qualified hot chick who's just reduced to, oh, she got the job because she's hot, or who'd she sleep with to get this job. And sure, that shit happens, but this isn't that! This isn't a who did she sleep with to get this job situation. It's a they want a superhero to head the superhero division situation. And then she walks by this conference room with all these male lawyers around a table just cackling to each other. We're men. powerful men, powerful men. And she says these dodos didn't have to deal with anything like this on their first day of work. Well, maybe they would have if they could turn into a fucking Hulk. This isn't a woman issue, it's a superhero issue. But you're trying to make it feel like one, and that has annoyed me, so now I'm not listening to you anymore. Unless that's the actual genius. They're going over the top, big, emotional, the way women can sometimes get, understandably so, but to a point where I am now tuning them out like men does to women. Oh my God, they've incepted me. But I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're just spoon-feeding me a little bit of bullshit, based in reality, but bullshit. I would say there's two good things about this episode that I enjoyed. What they did with Abomination, I really liked. It's a real 180 for the entire character. Jennifer Walters is being asked to represent Abomination. Abomination is the guy that tried to kill Bruce Banner in the first Hulk movie. But they give him some dialogue essentially explaining that back then, Bruce Banner, that Hulk, was a menace. That Hulk was a monster, almost like a bad guy. The military was trying to help. And he explains, the Hulk was a monster, and I just thought I was trying to help. I was trying to become a hero. I wanted to be like Captain America. Next thing you know, I land in the cell and I just want a second shot. And I like that. It's a plausible, believable way to turn that character from bad guy into understood good guy. And the second thing I liked is there is a great joke that Bruce Banner makes in this episode. When Walters calls Bruce to get his blessing to represent Abomination, because she feels kind of bad because Abomination did try to kill him, so she feels like, well, she should probably tell Bruce like, hey, you know, I'm representing this guy. And Bruce is fine with it. He tells her that Abomination actually sent him a letter apologizing and, you know, bygones are bygones. And then he says something fantastic. He says to her on the phone, he's like, Jennifer, that fight was so long ago, I'm a completely different person. Literally. And then Jennifer looks at the camera and goes, ha. And I like little moments like that. I was a completely different person, literally. Because in that Hulk movie, the Hulk was played by Edward Norton, but now the Hulk is played by Mark Ruffalo, so I like little, like, inside jokes like that. A fan service joke. So, all in all, I'm really annoyed by episode 2, but I'm gonna keep on trucking. So, that's my review. You know what to do. Leave me a comment if you like to, and if you want to see more things from me, just go to YouTube or TikTok, search ChokeOnFunny. Yes, men are known to trivialize women's... shit. What, trivialize is hard to say. Yes, men are known to trivialize... Man, I can't say trivialize.